लाइव हूँ मैं।
अभी तेरा जिप ओपन नहीं लगेगा।
सिद्धार्थ बसून घ्या.
ये थंबनेल ये शेयर कर दूंगा। थोड़ा लगा लिंक शेयर कर.
योगेश वो उधर ही रखो, अगर कोई प्रोफेसर मांगेगा.
I request everyone to please silence your phones.
Hello. Hello.
रजिस्ट्रेशन को भी अंदर ही सब लोग रजिस्ट्रेशन मीटिंग कर दो बस. नहीं रजिस्ट्रेशन जब इनॉग्रेशन नहीं रजिस्ट्रेशन जब इनॉग्रेशन स्टार्ट होता है ना
Good morning, one and all. Respected dignitaries, on and off the dais, reputed professors, and my dear friends. This is Hushi, along with my co-host Faizan and Yash, for today's event. On behalf of Department of Chemical Engineering, KLESCET Administration College of Engineering and Technology, I welcome you all for the 5th National Level Technical Symposium, Alchemist 2022. It is an undying tradition to invoke the Almighty at the beginning of an event. To begin with, I call upon Miss Sarah, the editor, to grace this occasion with a prayer song. गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणनन्दिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणाधीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भातचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भातचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थाय गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलाक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरितात्रे गुरुपाखण्डखण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमुक्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणाधीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भातचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for your soothing melody. I would like to request our convener and HOD of Chemical Engineering Department, Dr. Sneha Bandekar, to welcome the gathering.
I wish everyone very good morning. On behalf of KLE Dr. M. Sheshgiri College of Engineering and Technology, Belagavi, I extend a warm welcome to all the delegates and participants of the 5th National Level Technical Symposium, Alchemist 2022, on the theme of data science for chemical engineers. KLE has borne the mantle of excellence, committed to ensuring that the students get their own space to learn, grow, and broaden the horizon of knowledge by indulging in diverse spheres of learning. Alchemist 2022 draws inspiration from the act that innovation is the keystone of sustained economic growth and prosperity. I wish to welcome and thank today's chief guest and eminent keynote speaker, Dr. M. Ramaswamy, Managing Director, Macadam Private Limited, Coimbatore, Strategic Advisor and Professor KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. I welcome the guest of honor, Mr. Vijay Potiwale, a leading consultant in process industries and active pharmaceutical ingredients manufacturing. Welcome. I also welcome Dean R&D and in-charge principal, Dr. Rajkumar Raikar, deans of various sections, HODs of various departments, faculties and student friends. I extend my welcome to the session chairs, Dr. Ramakant Chaudhary, Sneham International, Dr. P.P. Kalburgi, Dr. S.Y. Adaganti, Dr. Keshav Joshi, Dr. L.R. Patil, Dr. V.S. Hombaliman, Professor Amarja Kulkarni, Professor Karthik Kevi, Professor Mahesh for accepting our invitation and consenting to the chair session. I welcome representative of our sponsors of Alchemist 2022, the management of KLE Technological University Hubballi, Sneham International Belagavi, Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers BRC Bangalore, Indian Society for Technical Education Student Chapter, KLE Dr. M.S. Sheshgiri College of Engineering and Technology for the patronage and financial support. I also welcome all the BTU rank holders and student delegates for their participation and presence. Lastly, I would like to welcome the faculty, staff, the organizing team, and the students for their contribution in successfully organizing and managing this event. Alchemist 2022, which would not have been possible without their commitment and constant support. I am sure that the expectation this symposium will go about as mechanism for all of us present here to reflect on the conference subject, the data science for chemical engineering. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm welcome. I now request our Professor and Dean of Affiliations and Exchange Program, Dr. Umesh Deshanawar, to introduce our chief guests.
Respected chief guest and keynote speaker of the symposium, Dr. M. Ramaswamy, guest of honor, Sri Vijay Potiwale, Dean R&D of our college, Dr. R.V. Raikar, Head of Chemical Engineering Department, Dr. Sneha Bandekar, invited faculty judges, VTU rank holders, deans of our colleges, HODs, and student participants. Wish you all a very good morning. Today, the third day of June 2022, will be written in golden words in the history of Alchemist and in the history of Chemical Engineering Department. This day shall be the most memorable and cherished day of my lifetime. We will hear the keynote address on the topic for the current scenario, data science for the chemical engineers, and overview by my guru, Dr. M. Ramaswamy. I am privileged to introduce Dr. Ramaswamy, the chief guest of Alchemist 2022 and the keynote speaker. Dr. Ramaswamy, a passionate lover of chemical engineering, has a BTech from Madras University, post-graduation from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, and a doctoral degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Dr. Ramaswamy has a passion for teaching, and he took up his first teaching assignment at the Coimbatore Institute of Technology in 1996. Dr. Ramaswamy took charge as head of the institution, Erode Institute of Chemical Technology, Erode, and was program manager for MSc in Advanced Process Control. His foreign assignments as a chemical engineering faculty started in September 2000 at University Sains, Malaysia. He joined University Technology Petronas, Malaysia in November 2008. He has served at various designations and has held different administrative positions during his tenure at UTP Malaysia. Dr. Ramaswamy currently is the Managing Director of MacDatum Private Limited, Strategic Advisor and Professor at KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore, and a consultant to R&D project by Transverter Tenaga, Malaysia. Dr. Ramaswamy, popularly known as Dr. Rama. His research interests are process control, system identification, anomaly diagnosis, heat exchanger fouling, naphtha reforming, and energy management. He has patents and trade secrets based on his rich research expertise. Dr. Rama has completed 21 projects and secured funds to a tune of rupees 17 crores. Dr. Rama has shared his research findings and knowledge through more than 100 publications in referred journals, conference proceedings, and authored books and 5 book chapters. Dr. Rama is a chartered engineer, Engineering Council UK, Certified Energy Manager, AEMS Malaysia, Chartered Member, Institute of Chemical Engineers in UK, Senior Member, AICHE US, and Life Member, IICHE India. With this brief introduction, here I present an accomplished teacher, a passionate researcher, a professional consultant, and the most sought mentor in chemical engineering, Dr. Ramaswamy. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce guest of honor of today's symposium, Sri Vijay Kumar Kotiwale. Mr. Kotiwale, born in Karoshi near Chikodi, completed his basic education from his hometown. He pursued his Bachelor of Science at BK College, Chikodi, and graduated with chemistry major in 1982. Mr. Kotiwale pursued his professional education at University Department of Chemical Technology, now it is called as ICT, Mumbai, and completed BSc Tech in Pharmaceuticals and Fine Chemicals in the year 1985. Mr. Vijay Kotiwale started his professional career at Lupin Laboratories, Ankleshwar. He served Lupin Laboratories for a span of 4.5 years as an engineer in operations department. After a successful career in operations department, Mr. Kotiwale joined SKF as engineer in manufacturing and projects division. After a stint of over 2.5 years, Mr. Kotiwale joined Lupin Limited at Tarapur. The career of Mr. Kotiwale at Lupin Limited is an inspiring success model for many young engineers to follow. He joined Lupin Limited as a trainee engineer and has risen to Senior Vice President Manufacturing over a period of 31 years. Mr. Vijay Kotiwale's rich industrial experience comprises of active pharmaceutical ingredients manufacturing, environment, health and safety, human resources, and quality compliance. Mr. Kotiwale participated in many management development and executive management courses from prestigious IIM Ahmedabad. Presently, Mr. Kotiwale is enjoying his retired life from Lupin Tarapur and working as an advisor and consultant to many process industries and API. With this brief introduction, I am proud to introduce Mr. Vijay Kotiwale to you all. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. I would like to request Professor Prasad Hegde to present flowers to respected chief guest, Professor Dr. M. Ramaswamy. Thank you, sir. I would like to request Dr. Satish Hosmane to present flowers to respected chief guest, Shri Vijay Kotiwale. Thank you, sir. I would like to request Dr. Santosh Kadapure to present flowers to Dean Dr. R.V. Raikar. Thank you, sir. I would like to request Dr. Santosh Nandi to present flowers to our HOD Dr. Sneha Bandekar. Thank you, sir. I would like to request Professor Girish Desai to present flowers to Dr. Umesh Deshanawar.
Thank you, sir. I would like to request Professor S.S. Keruman to present the flowers to Professor Amraj Kulkar. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request Dr. Raviraj Havaldar sir to present the flowers to respected delegates. Dr. P.V. Kalburgi sir. Thank you, sir. Next, Dr. Ramkar Chaudhary, SNEAM International Fellow. Thank you, sir. Dr. Shivanand Adaganti, SDM Dharwad. Thank you, sir. Dr. L.R. Patil, KLESCET Hubli. Thank you, sir. Dr. V.S. Humbali Mat, KLESCET Hubli. Dr. Keshava Joshi, SDM Dharwad.
A ray of light is a ray of hope. A single spark of light is enough to expel the darkness. So, I request the dignitaries on the dais to please step down and light the lamp to inaugurate the symposium. Kल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदम् this opportunity to welcome Dean, Research and Development of our institution, Dr. R.V. Riker, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning, everyone. Dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Ramaswamy, the chief guest of today's inaugural function of the symposium Alchemist 2022, and the guest of honor, Mr. Vijay Kotiwale, head of the department, Dr. Sneha Bandekar, Professor Ramesh Deshano, the faculty judges from various institutes, deans of this college, head of the departments, participants from various institutes, and my student colleagues. It's my pleasure to be a part of this symposium, Alchemist 2022. At the outset, I thank the organizers to bringing me to be part of this function. Generally, the presidential talk will be at the end, but this is surprising because President will always summarize what is the function. But I have to give something without knowing what is the contents of the inaugural function. But at this junction, it's my pleasure to tell you something, as the main theme of this Alchemist is data science for chemical engineers. So this is a buzzword at the present scenario. Big data analysis, machine learning, artificial intelligence, all those things are coming in the field of engineering. And these techniques are making the technical persons to be more technical on the computer face. So it is a time now for all of you, all of us in fact, to go from the basics of the conventional engineering to what we call it as machinized engineering, wherein we need to go through these additional topics. This is an apt topic which is selected as a theme for the present symposium, because at the present we are on the cross-border engineering, wherein we don't have the border of the engineering. So civil, mechanical, chemical, biomedical, they are all one and the same, because every day we go with the different requirements. Now the new topic which is raised is the compressed engineering. It's a new topic now which is coming up, wherein we have less facilities, wherein we need to put more knowledge into that or more technology into that. This is a new topic which I heard few months back, wherein the compressed engineering is required, particularly in civil engineering, where the space is less, we need to put a lot of facilities into that. So we need to compress all the data and put it in front of the clients or in front of the required people. So these are the new technologies which are coming up, and it is an apt time for all the engineers which are coming out of the portals of the engineering institutions to have the idea of this and gain the knowledge in these coming days. So I hope this platform will enlighten you with a guest talk of Dr. Ramaswamy sir, who is well versed with data science and machine learning. And also the papers presented on this platform will be helpful for many of you, so that we can take some learnings and make that as a platform for your next life, which you are going to build on that. So with this, I wish you all the best and happy learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request all the delegates to release the souvenir.
Thank you everyone. We now have a felicitation to the V2 rank holders by Dr. R.V. Reiter. For the felicitation to the V2 rank holders for the academic year 2018-19, I call upon Ms. Akshita Chauhan, securing 3rd rank. Next we have Mr. Suraj Seth, securing 5th rank. Next we have Ms. Prolia D'Souza, securing 6th rank.
Felicitation to video rank holders for the academic year 2019-20. Ms. Neha, securing 3rd rank. Ms. Varsha, securing 4th rank. Ms. Annapurneshwari, securing 9th rank.
Felicitation to VTU rank holders for the academic year 2020 and 21. Ms. Nazreen securing 1st rank. Ms. Gayatri securing 2nd rank. Ms. Pragati securing 5th rank. Mr. Sufyan Jamadar securing 6th rank. Ms. Sanjana Gotikar securing 10th rank. Now, I would invite our chief guest, Dr. M. Ramasamy, who is MD, Mactatum Private Limited, Coimbatore, and Strategic Advisor, Professor in Chemical Engineering, KPR Institute of Technology, Coimbatore, to enlighten us with words of encouragement.
Respected President of this inaugural function, Professor R.V. Reiter, the Dean R&D of KLE Dr. M.S. Teskari College of Engineering and Technology, who is representing the Principal, Dr. Baswaraj Category, respected Dean, Dr. Umesh Desanabo, Dean Affiliations and Exchange Programs, respected Head of the Department, Dr. Sneha Bandekar, respected Guest of Honor, Sri Vijay Kumar Kotiwale, members of faculty, judges from other institutions, students, and dignitaries on and off the dais. A very good morning to everyone present here today. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here today in this beautiful campus on this morning, pleasant morning. And I'm honored to be the chief guest, and my special thanks to Professor Umesh to see me here at this event. First of all, congratulations to the VTU rank holders who just received your awards or felicitations. And congratulations to the organizing team for organizing such a wonderful seminar, a 5th National Technical Level Seminar, the Symposium, Alchemist 2022. And event of this nature serves many purposes. It's not just coming together, having fun and going back. I understand this is being organized by the students under the supervision of the faculty. It really helps them build their character, leadership, organizational capabilities, teamwork, etc. In addition, it also provides opportunities for networking. As students, delegates from various institutions are here, there's an opportunity for you to do networking, to learn new and novel ideas and techniques, technologies, innovations. What you can learn in a semester in a classroom, you can learn in one day if you could stay attentive to all the talks. It provides such an immense opportunity for you to learn a lot of things in one day. The field of chemical engineering has grown far and wide. It's truly multidisciplinary in nature. It used to be, and it's expanding much wider. During my days, I did my Bachelor of Technology in Chemical Engineering, a 5-year program where we have studied civil engineering, electrical engineering, electronics, heat power engineering, everything. We have done all the laboratories as well, heat power engineering lab, DC machines, AC machines, and smithy, welding, carpentry, everything we have done in a 5-year program. So we used to know that it's like a universal engineer, and it is even becoming more and more universal when the new era of digital era has come in. The evolving areas in biochemical engineering, nanotechnology, pharmaceutical, petrochemicals, energy in general, are all the areas a chemical engineer needs to be aware of and be an expert if it is possible. The fields of IT, computer science, data science and engineering, communications engineering, are also playing a major role in the field of chemical engineering. As Professor Reiter said, we are not just doing chemical engineering, we are doing almost everything. And we need to understand, there are people to do things, but we need to understand what they do, and we need to understand to tell them what to do, to advise them, this is what we want. At least you need to make a request, this particular job is to be done, so you should be able to explain to them. In fact, these fields fetch, the IT and computer science fields fetch more salaries today as compared to the core chemical engineers or core engineers, and that's the state of, I don't know what to call, the order of today. And I'm sure you as chemical engineers would choose to be a core chemical engineers. Why it is so? You may get low salary at this moment, but the experience and knowledge that you gain, you become a domain expert after 20 years and 30 years, and that's invaluable. Whereas a computer science engineer, if he knows something to do programming today, and you know the technique, the knowledge, and you need to build over the years through your experience. And that becomes invaluable. Any one tip that you give is this is the best practice in operating a chemical plant, and that becomes a part of the artificial intelligence program. Okay, with which the industries will move towards autonomous operations. That means you don't need anybody to operate a plant, and the plant will operate by itself, autonomous, like an autonomous institution. The plant itself operates by itself. Okay. Okay, I'd like to remind you that the demands of a chemical engineer is ever growing. It's just not good enough just to know reaction engineering, thermodynamics, mass transfer, heat transfer. You need to know other fields as well. Of the day before you go. And my sincere thanks to the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. Good day.
Thank you, sir, for the words of wisdom. I would now request our Chief Guest of Honor, Sri Vijay Kotiwale, Advisor and Consultant, API and Process Industry, to speak a few words.
Am I audible? Hope all are alert. So, guests on the dais, Dr. Ramaswamy, Dr. Riker, Dr. Umesh, and Sneha Madam, and dignitaries of the dais, and college, institute staff, and students from various institutes. I think this is the second visit to this institute for me. I was there 2016, I believe. So I still distinctly remember what I was speaking on those days. Maybe it's 2016. I think the subject was on the same platform on the environmental related challenges. And this environmental related challenges, even after 2022, we still have same challenges. Because we try to catch up something and we continue to fall short of what is expected out of us. So more than from this side of the dais, I'll be trying to talk to all the doctors from your side now. Because I'm from the industry, I can only share about the industrial experience and the basic things which has to be there. But Dr. Ramaswamy just touched upon why I should remain with my core competency. That becomes the key to my chosen profession. See, every profession has its own hazards. No profession will go without hazard. That we must understand. But we become a panicky. Array, that IT person is some Hindi is okay, na? Yes. I want to put in something in the different dynamics. Okay, IT आदमी को बहुत कुछ मिल रही है. अरे हम तो अभी कब का पगार मिलेगा हमको? This is a thought you always carry in mind. That's what doctor tried to touch upon. But important thing is, as long as we remain competent, convinced ourselves to our core competency, once we accept that profession as a student or as a industrial profession as a, whatever level we work upon, it's very, very important to believe in ourselves. And that's completed engineering is in IT in Bangalore now. He's learning so much, and I'm working somewhere else, and my salary is even little more than a half of it. And do I catch up with him? That's become thinking process in the minds of all of us. And it is true, because ultimately you look at the money. But you remember, these IT people are now thinking of retiring at 40, 45. Whereas we have a long way to go. That's where we have to build our initial investment in a core competency much better than before. And that is the industry's need. Industry also, people hop from one place to other place. People keep hopping from industry to industry. But important thing is engineering courses, like you take mechanical, you take civil, you take electrical, you take chemical, you take anything. It needs a long gestation period and a little long depth investment. Data analytics, which is the topic of this thing, has become very, very important. But that should be figured in our cap. That cannot be our starting point now, because we have already decided our profession as a chemical engineer. Now we have to start writing our own on the slate, how to go about it. And industry always looks at what sort of a background qualification makes sense, but what sort of a investment we do in the industry in the beginning of our career makes a lot of difference to the career, which doctor said you'll see the fruits maybe after 20 years. But it's a time, that's what I'm telling you, it's a decision period where it's important for us to know what I should do now. So most of the data analytics which is coming in is also becoming a core requirement of industry, chemical industry. It is not that it is industry is neglecting that, but it has its own challenges before it gets into that. It is not that if you go to any continuous process plants today, most of the plants you see automation, unmanned operations, inbuilt safety, inbuilt operations, everything is there. But how did that all evolve? That is the robotic and the automation we talk about. We as a chemical engineers need to know what is my fundamental way of understanding the processes, how to integrate those chemical processes along with the unit operations, so that I can bring a good integration between the unit process chemistry and the operation which I have to design, because ultimately I have to convert this chemistry to technology. Here the unit operation, unit process and the unit operation come together. Another myth we carry in our mind, first year, second year, something chemistry is there in the engineering, and after second year we start forgetting the chemistry part of the engineering, which is actually becomes the basic fundamental requirement even if you complete your engineering and even continue to be in the industry. But many times it happens, of course there are streams in the engineering, chemical engineering, like a projects, process engineering, a lot of other streams are there, where we have to use it, but a chemistry doesn't go away from the chemical engineering. So our best job, before coming to the data analytics part, is my process is good enough? Is it the conversions or reaction conversions are very close to the theoretical part or no? If yes, how much can be done? If no, what is the limitation? When you identify the limitations, you will always have certain things to think about. If the limitation is assumed with the chiral chemistry, when you have a chiral chemistry of 2 carbon atoms and chiral structure, then you have 4 isomers. So you will have your productivity of a desired product will come to 25%, theoretically. If it is 1 chiral center, 2 isomers will come to 50. But what happens to the rest of the 50? Can the other 50 which is undesired, can we do something for it? That becomes our challenge. Not necessarily everything goes with the normal investment of making it commercially viable, but the thought process cannot be stopped. So the process of isolation, racemization, and then breaking the undesired product back to the product, it becomes a challenge in the chemical industry. So it is important for all of us to know how do you look at our process chemistry, how do you integrate the process chemistry with your unit operations, and then make a robust technology. When you say there is a robust technology, when the scientist and the engineer sit together and come to the conclusion, then comes the rest of the part, because you have to create a foundation. Once the foundation is created, technology package is ready with us, with all the creativity put in, because there are a lot of techniques which have come to make this designing of experiments also in the industry. So designing of experiments also becomes important, so that we do a least effort and get the best result out of it. So these are all the requirements of a chemical engineer to understand, but never forget there is a chemist who is going to run along with you. And our job is to convert that chemistry into the technology and have a hand in gloves with the process. Once you understand the process, look at the conversion, then you understand how the system has to be designed to make it optimal. Nothing can be idle, how to make it optimal. When the optimal things comes into the place, then the lot of challenges will be thrown. And remember one thing, when you are developing such kind of a processes, it cannot be a one-man show. So it has to be a team spirit and team effort. Who gets credit for what is a different part of it. Because in a student's life, if I have to remember, here in a school, you have been given the lessons and asked to write the test. Right? You have been given the lessons by the teachers and you have been asked to write the test. simple. But in real life or professional life, you have been given a test and you have to write. You have to write the lessons. So there is a difference. So under this test, it is very, very important to integrate those things. And it is not a very difficult job. Like doctor said, chemical engineering has a vast links. Like he said, civil engineering, everything we should know. It's not necessarily we should be expert in everything, but we definitely know what others are doing. Automation becomes part of the life. If you go to the chemical process industry, there is a lot of automation which has come, and it is still not enough. But if you go to pharma industry, still a lot of things has to be done, because there is a lot of compliance issues which we have to meet while designing the systems. Because in the regulated world of manufacturing medicines, especially API or formulations, there is a lot of restrictions from the regulators. Once you decide this is the way you do it, you have to just reproduce it. So always you think in our mind, can you do innovation or not? Can you do creativity or not? Answer is still yes. But only the methodology we have to follow is slightly different than the required. Under that critical conditions, we'll have to understand we have an opportunity to develop, expand our knowledge by evaluating the critical aspect of the process. Whichever molecule you talk about, whichever technology you talk about, critical aspects of this. When the evaluation takes place and you define the problem statement, if you make it define the problem statement correctly, then the whole team together can find the answer to that. Then comes what sort of a controls. When you are talking about the controls, the people team which have understood the issues of the process can only say what he wants. Then the other experts will come in there to tell you what sort of process controls we should bring into the operation to make the operation robust or efficient and more productive. So they have a role to play. So we become quite a good amount of interface to give key inputs to the control mechanism developers. Then comes the measurements. Once you have designed the controls, then you have a measurements. Whatever you are measuring, is it very close to what set points you have in mind, or what theoretically things have been seen, or what practically have been achieved till today? Is it possible to look at something more there? Once that has been done, then it has to be database. It cannot have a small small data and then work upon it. Once you make a good amount of database, then our role of having all the peripheral knowledge, which today's soft skills of you people will come into play to analyze that data and then see how we can lift the operational controls and the process efficiency much better than what they are today, the next level of control, next level of productivity. If that is being done, and that is a robustness in the operations, and that is what exactly is the automation, because robotic operations are all designed on the similar way. They have to grow with this thing, because you have to make fail-proof at the end of the day. So that is the requirement of the process. So if that has been done, automatically when you talk about the environment under the process, chemical industry process conditions, the byproduct generations, waste elimination becomes minimal. When that becomes minimal, then everything starts becoming smooth. So this is how we have a role to play as a chemical engineers, and we have key thing is automation and mechanization in the manufacturing operations, followed by data analytics, which is entering the field. And today regulators are encouraging from paper to the glass technology in the data. Even the US FDA, you take any regulator, you take even US, Indian FDAs, US FDA, European authority, everybody is now looking at it. Now they are able to see, because they want today human errors to come down to maintain the quality of the product. But it's not very late realization that industry is taking time to make it happen. So one of the important aspects is the continual improvement in what we do becomes important. And as a student, I just said, we have been given syllabus here. What I said sometime back, lessons, and then asked to write that test in life, or a personal life you take, or a professional life. You have been given a test, and then you have to write the lessons for those tests, and they are always much more challenging than what otherwise we do it. So please be very clear in your mind. You have chosen a profession which you should love, and introspect ourselves. Yes, this is my core competency, this is where I have to be. And then time will come, you become a master, like just doctor said, you become a master how to make the things happen for the industry. Because process industry is going to grow. Looking at the Chinese situation today, the way the investments are coming in, process industry is going to grow. But yes, it has its own challenges to meet on the environmental front. This thing, but our challenge is to see that problem today is the high capital investments which are coming for the investment. But the thing is, the realization is going to be little late, but automation is going to be tomorrow's law. Without automation, without database analysis, without all peripheral learnings. Simple things you learn basic lessons, but when you go to the industry, you'll start realizing, I did not study statistical process control, statistics clearly. I somehow managed to get through the statistics. But when you go statistical process control, all these fundamentals will come into the picture there. Because what data management you are going to do is all statistical process controls in the industry. So there are Six Sigma, productivity management. Today in the industry, the operational management has become very, very important technical subject to encourage, upgrade the existing resources of manufacturing team. Because we in the past, we never had these opportunities to know all those things in the beginning. So it will be funny to know, we started learning computer after we joined the job. We had no PC. And today that is not your this thing. You have a very different skill today. And that skill must be honored, respected, but try and use it at the right time rather than jumping into the conclusions too early. So therefore, my appeal to you all is, chemical engineering has its own merits, but it needs a bit amount of extra gestation period. Automation is the industry's tomorrow's norm. Mechanization is the tomorrow's norm. Data analytics has entered the system, which regulators in the industry are respecting, because ultimately we need to produce the quality products which are cost effective, they are quality, and you also build the safety and environmental aspects in our technologies before we make it commercially right. So it all has its own capital investment, but any sort of innovation, creativity, group assignments, and the industrial problems taken for solving at the institute level are always helpful for an institute and the students and the industry to benefit together and make the industry more safe, more environmental friendly, as well as cost effective, because ultimately who pays for us? The customer at the desk, he pays for us. No industry pays us directly. The customer who buys our things, he pays for us. So ultimately he will also look at something which is the best, least cost and the best quality. So these are all the aspects, and data analytics is the tomorrow's future. Try and learn all those aspects which were mentioned just now about in the curriculum. Try and apply them and upgrade the concepts, but don't give up the basic concepts of chemical engineering, because they are going to be the fundamentals to make it big and more robust, to make this industry safe, environmental friendly and productive. Thank you.
We now have a felicitation to the guest by Dr. R.V. Riker. Ravi Raikar sir to felicitate Ms. Poonam Kutre securing 8th rank in 2018-19. Thank you, sir, with this warm and affectionate felicitation. Collective work is the secret behind progress. Thank you is a prayer that has to be felt by heart. Now I call upon Professor Prasad Hegde sir to propose the vote of thanks.
Very good morning to Honorable Dr. M. Ramaswamy, Vijay Kotiwale, beloved President of today's function, Dr. Rajkumar Raikar, HOD Dr. Sneha Bandekar, Dr. Umesh Deshanar, Dean Affiliations, our most valued invitees, guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. I feel honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion of the inaugural of the symposium Alchemist 2022. I, on behalf of Dr. KLE, Dr. MSS CET, the Fraternity of Chemical Engineering Professionals, and on my personal behalf, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to Dr. M. Ramaswamy for gracing this inaugural ceremony and enlightening us with his valuable experiences. Sir, your brief enlightenment from expert systems to knowledge information processing system will take us and make us our memories cherished. I thank Vijay Kotiwale sir for being the guest of honor and sharing his experiences which take us from molecules to tons per annum. His thoughts about consistent quality, optimization, productivity, and the note that chemical engineers will be ever sought is a heartening thought for all of us present here today. I thank Dr. R.V. Raikar, Dean Research and Development and in charge principal of our college, for presiding over this inaugural function. I am extremely grateful to deans of the college, HODs, executive and organizing committee of the symposium for their support, encouragement and hour-to-hour guidance. My sincere thanks to Dr. Sneha Bandekar, convener Alchemist 2022, Head Chemical Engineering Department, and to Dr. Umesh Deshanar, Dean Affiliations and Student Exchange, Faculty Coordinator Alchemist 2022, for shouldering the great responsibility of bringing together chemical engineers from far and wide and making Alchemist 2022 a reality. I convey my thanks to all distinguished members of the sessions, chairpersons and jury, Dr. Shivanand Arganti, Dr. Keshav Joshi, Dr. L.R. Patil, Dr. V.S. Sombalimat, Dr. Prakash Kalburgi, Professor Karthik, Professor Mahesh, and Sri Ramakant Chaudhary from Sneham Technical Head, Sneham International, for sparing their valuable time and also for their august presence at this event. This reflects the commitment of the jury to the profession of chemical engineering. Our students bring laurels to us, and I, on this occasion, thank all the alumni and VTU rank holders who have made our department proud and more prouder by being present here and accepting our honors. I, on behalf of the organizers, thank all the authors, delegates who are attending this symposium from various institutes situated at Bangalore, Tumkur, Mumbai, Kolhapur, Dharwad, Davangere, Palki and Bhagalpur to participate and attend this conference. The Alchemist team hopes that this symposium will provide a platform to share knowledge and expertise and also review the issues related to defined goals of our profession. I thank the print and electronic media for giving their excellent coverage to this symposium. I thank all our sponsors, Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers, Bangalore Regional Center, Indian Society for Technical Education, Institution of Engineers India, Sneham International, and all our patrons for their magnanimous support and patronage to this mega event. I thank the team of motivated deans, heads of departments, faculty members, students club members, the members of various committees constituted for conduct of Alchemist 2022. I thank every one of them from the bottom of my heart. My hearty thanks to the faculty, technical staff and student volunteers for their dedication and teamwork in making this event a reality. All of us and all the student community have worked smilingly, untiringly to make this symposium successful. Lastly, my special thanks to management, KLE Society, KLE Technological University for their endless support. Thank you one and all.
All this would have not been possible without the presence of such a great audience. Thank you all for attending today and making this event extra special. I would also like to thank our respected dignitaries and reputed professors. Thank you. We'll be having a small break of 5 minutes. I request everyone to assemble back for the keynote session.
Anytime, sir.